First stop off of the plane in San Francisco, the Dolphin Club, with that view of the Golden Gate Bridge behind me on a windy afternoon. The sound that you hear are the flags just gusting in that wind here on the bay. Anyway, it's May 9th. That means it's Trey Lance's birthday. He turns 23 today. Just 23. May 9th, 2000 is when Trey Lance was born. Pretty sure that will make a lot of you feel old. It makes me feel old. I think he was the first NFL player to be born in this new millennium. Anyway, George Kittle did give Trey Lance a birthday cake, so much for the theory of George Kittle not liking Trey. He got him an expensive French birthday cake. So there goes that thought, that trolling thought among social media users. But we can talk about Trey Lance right now because he is only 23 years old, because he is shockingly young, and we can realize that this was an upside pick for the 49ers, and it remains an upside pick. He's a raw player who the 49ers would like to see develop. There has been a lot of noise this offseason surrounding Trey Lance, and some of it I think the 49ers haven't been all too upset that it's been floating around there, because they're going to do what they're going to do, and what they're going to do is build QB option power, and I think that they want Trey Lance to knock their socks off. They want them to force their hand. Brock Purdy played sensational football last year. But Brock Purdy is the floor for the 49ers. Listen, with the QB option power that the 49ers have, with Trey Lance, Sam Darnold, and Brock Purdy in the room, the 49ers, I think, given the way that Brock played last year, assuming that the elbow recovery continues going really well, they've got a floor. But Trey Lance is undeniably more talented and has an undeniably higher ceiling than somebody like Brock Purdy, which is why he went at pick number 3 instead of pick number 262. Opposite end of the draft. So Trey Lance gives the 49ers a potential ceiling. Sam Darnold, the third member of that room, he gives the 49ers insurance and maybe a little bit of both. Maybe a little bit of the higher ceiling because he also, like Trey, was a former number 3 pick, and a little bit of a higher floor than somebody like Trey Lance because he's already done it at the NFL level for several seasons. Maybe not particularly well up until last year when Sam Darnold over those 6 games got a lot better, but still, all 3 of these quarterbacks give the 49ers something unique. The floor, that's Brock Purdy. The ceiling, that's potentially Trey Lance. A little bit of both, and the insurance, that is Sam Darnold. Anyway, with the ceiling that Trey Lance can bring the 49ers, because he is a raw prospect, because he is so young, because we don't know what this moldable clay is going to become, that ceiling can redefine the 49ers moving into the future if he has a chance to reach it, which is why I talked throughout the whole trade saga of Trey Lance. I said they would have to see an extremely impressive offer to consider moving him, because they still don't know what they exactly have in Trey Lance. The difference between now and when they drafted Trey Lance is that they have the higher ceiling with Brock Purdy. He appeared out of nowhere, pick number 262. So that gives the 49ers, I guess in a way, gives them insurance as well. But since that floor has moved higher with Brock Purdy being there, they can, I think, more comfortably jump from that floor to try to reach the ceiling with Trey Lance. That's what option power gives you. Right? You have multiple different quarterbacks who do different things well, who have different potential outcomes in the future given their physical characteristics, and you go and see what develops, what materializes, what happens. And in the case of Trey Lance, well, today he's 23 years old, and that means that he still has a lot in front of him from a physical and a cerebral and a football growth perspective that the 49ers are excited to see. They're excited to see what does materialize with Trey Lance. As always, time for people to calm down and see how the quarterback position unfolds for the 49ers. If you had just ignored Twitter all offseason, you would be in the same spot as you were when the season ended. That Brock Purdy, health permitting, is the 49ers guy. Trey Lance and Sam Darnold, well, they're going to battle it out this offseason. They're going to try to develop their games to impress Kyle Shanahan, impress John Lynch, and assert themselves in that 49ers quarterback pecking order moving into the season. Because as history tells us, it's very likely that the 49ers are going to need more than one of these QBs to get through the season. Everybody will have their chance in due time. Happy birthday to Trey Lance. We'll talk to everybody soon.